The first $100,000 is the hardest money you'll ever make. It is a brutal uphill battle that feels like you are pushing a boulder through deep mud. But once you hit that magic number, everything changes. The next $100,000 becomes almost automatic. There are 5 specific strategies that make hitting this milestone dramatically faster than the traditional path most people take. We are moving past the advice of extreme frugality or unrealistic side hustles that don't scale. Instead, we are looking at the math and the habits that create real sustainable momentum. This is the acceleration point where your money starts to work harder than you do. If you understand how to navigate this first phase, you can cut years, even decades, off your journey to financial independence. Charlie Munger, the legendary investor, once famously said that the first $100,000 is a total nightmare. He wasn't exaggerating. The reason this milestone is so difficult is that at the start, your investments earn almost nothing in absolute terms. When you have $0, your returns are zero. When you finally scrape together $10,000 and earn a solid 10% return, you've only made $1,000. That is great, but it isn't life-changing. It barely covers a major car repair or a month of rent in a big city. Because the returns are so small in the beginning, almost 100% of your wealth growth must come from your own contributions. You are the sole engine of your wealth. There is no wind at your back. You are rowing the boat manually against a heavy current. Compare that to someone who already has $100,000 invested. That same 10% return earns them $10,000 in a single year without them lifting a finger. That is the power of a base layer of capital. To save your first $100,000, you have to realize that you are in the manual labor phase of wealth building. The transition from $0 to $100,000 is 90% discipline and 10% investing. Once you cross that line, the ratio starts to shift. But getting there requires a different mindset than staying there. Most people fail because they wait for the market to do the work for them before they have enough skin in the game. But there is a way to reach this milestone years faster if you stop following the typical timeline. The typical path most people follow is a slow, agonizing crawl. If you look at the average person's net worth journey, it looks like a flat line for a long time. In year 0, they have nothing. By year 5, maybe they have $20,000. By year 10, they might hit $60,000. It often takes 15 years or more to reach that first 6-figure mark. This happens because of a combination of lifestyle inflation, a low savings rate, and a complete lack of a system. They get a raise and immediately buy a nicer car. They get a bonus and spend it on a vacation. They are essentially running on a treadmill that keeps moving faster, but they stay in the same place. We are going to break that system and look at the levers that actually cut that timeline in half. Strategy number 1 is to focus on increasing your savings rate first. This is the fastest lever you can pull. In the early stages of building wealth, your savings rate matters significantly more than your investment returns. Let's look at the math. If you earn a $60,000 salary and you save the standard 10%, you are putting away $6,000 a year. At that rate, it will take you over a decade just to get close to the milestone, even with decent market growth. However, if you can find a way to save 40% of that same income, you are putting away $24,000 a year. Now you are hitting $100,000 in just about 4 to 5 years. The difference isn't the market, it's the input. To make this realistic, you have to automate your investing. You need to have the money leave your account before you even see it. You should also try to live on last year's income. Every time you get a bump in pay, keep your expenses exactly where they were. The next strategy is what actually makes saving 40% of your income realistic without living a life of misery. Strategy number 2 is to focus on income growth. There is a limit to how much you can cut, but there is no limit to how much you can earn. Income growth beats extreme frugality every single day of the week. If you are making $50,000 a year and saving 20%, you are saving $10,000. But if you focus on skill stacking and job switching to get your income up to $80,000 while maintaining that same 20% savings rate, you are now saving $16,000. If you combine this with the high savings rate from strategy 1, you become a wealth building machine. You increase your income through skill stacking, which means learning complementary skills that make you rare and valuable. You look for side income streams that can be funneled directly into your investments. The goal is to widen the gap between what you earn and what you spend. The wider that gap, the faster you fly toward $100,000. But there is a trap that catches almost everyone as their income grows. Strategy number 3 is avoiding lifestyle inflation. This is the financial rule that keeps high earners from ever reaching $100,000. When people start making more money, they immediately feel the urge to upgrade. Every raise becomes a new car payment, a bigger apartment, or more expensive hobbies. This is how you end up broke while making six figures. To beat this, you need a rule for your raises. Save at least half of every single raise you ever receive. If you get a $10,000 raise, give yourself $5,000 to improve your quality of life and put the other $5,000 directly into your wealth building fund. This allows your lifestyle to grow slowly while your net worth grows exponentially. This one habit alone can save you 10 years of labor. It prevents the golden handcuffs from locking you into a lifestyle you have to work forever to support. Strategy number 4 is to invest early, even if the amounts feel small. While I said savings rate is the most important factor early on, you cannot ignore the psychological benefit of compounding. If you invest $500 a month at an 8% return, in 8 years you have over $60,000. While that isn't $100,000 yet, a significant portion of that total is now coming from growth rather than your own pocket. Investing early accelerates the timeline because it allows the math of compounding to start working while you are still focusing on your savings rate. It builds the habit of being an investor rather than just a saver. When you finally hit that $100,000 mark, you want to have a system already in place so that the money knows exactly where to go to keep growing. This leads us to the $100,000 wealth acceleration effect. This is the payoff you have been working for. Once you reach this milestone, the snowball effect becomes visible. Let's look at how the money starts working for you. With $100,000 invested, a 10% return gives you $10,000 a year. That is almost $1,000 a month of passive growth. When you hit $300,000, that same 10% return is $30,000 a year. At $1 million, you are making $100,000 a year just by existing. This is the moment your money starts working harder than you do. The reason the first $100,000 matters so much is that it is the critical mass required for compounding to actually be felt in your daily life. It is the foundation upon which the rest of your financial freedom is built. Without this base, you are just spinning your wheels. With it, you have a powerhouse generating wealth in the background of your life. Get there with a fast track formula. This is a basic, repeatable system, not luck. First, aggressively boost your revenue by building market value. Second, save 30% to 50% by cutting expenses. Third, invest regularly in diverse assets. Avoid lifestyle creep at all costs. Following this formula could result in this journey. You save $15,000 in year 1. You reach $35,000 in year 2 with a minor raise and diligent savings. By year 3, your skills and income rise to $60,000. High contributions and market growth get you $90,000 in year 4. Year 5 costs almost $120,000. Your tipping point was achieved in a third of the typical time. Focus and desire to be different are needed for this quest. Why you're not updating your life as fast as them is beyond most people. It won't show your $100,000 account balance. It will only show that you're driving the same car. You are creating a fortress while they are in debt and stress. Discipline and self-confidence are key to the first $100,000. After that, patience and time are needed. Your first $100,000 goes beyond bank accounts. Your wealth begins to outperform you. To live a life without employment or financial worry, it costs. Stay aggressive, start today, and watch how fast momentum grows as you breach that first six-figure barrier.